Okay, welcome everybody to Hump Day. Mike. So, yeah, Hump Day. Sorry, I just bumped the cord there. Okay, so anyway, I want to finish. On Wednesday, we started another page in Tenderful Enchantments. We got this far. I will zoom in when I start coloring. So we're going to finish this page, hopefully. And then I have a new color book. And I'll do a separate video on the new color book. Okay? So let's go ahead and get started on this one. Again, it's Tenderful Enchantments, Klara Markova. It's a hardback book. Very nice. We have colored. Let me show a couple of the other pages we've colored in it. This one. The cover here. I've done the cover. Inside front cover. Did that one. This one. This one. And I think one other. This one. The fruit bats. We did that one. Can you say it like Elvis would? Oh, your name, Priscilla. Okay. I thought you wanted me to do an Elvis imitation. I was going to say it's too early. Scylla. Okay, so it's Scylla. Don't make me do Elvis impersonators. Okay, Jean. Yes, Jean, stay warm. Please do not get sick this winter. Just saying. Okay, so I have a piece of cardstock here behind just to protect the next page and all. And also, this is all paint. That was a light baby blue Americana craft paint background. And then, let me go ahead and zoom in a little. So, yeah, that was craft paint back here. And then we put some pink and blue in the clouds and then took white. I've been using polychromos except for the white. The white is my Prisma. And so we just took white and kind of feathered out the clouds. Exactly, Jean. Exactly. Azure's freezing at 61. Yeah, it's like 61 too here, but the humidity here. I have my air conditioner on because it's so humid here in the ATL. And so anyway, you can see we got a little bit of the little ladybugs done. And I got the leather like belt thing holding. I don't know what this is supposed to be made out of. And then the little boy on the bike. And we did a red bike, so we did that. And that's all we got. And that took a couple hours, because I did have to paint around everything. So when you do the background painting like that, it does take a bit of time, right, to go around everything. But in the long run, it's much easier to paint your backgrounds, whether you do a wash, like a watercolor or an acrylic wash type thing where it looks watery and not flat, or whether if you do the flat look like I did here and then the pencil on top of it. And that's one of the best things about the acrylic paint is the pencil that you can do on top of it. Because remember, and I think I will show that again because I try to show it every little bit. Let me get a black here pencil and a piece of, here's a black, and let's get a piece of scrap paper here. Oops, I'll lose my little cutouts. I got a new pack of some cutouts with another project I'm doing. Okay, so get some black paint here. So let me just dip my finger in it here. So here's, like, let's just say that's your black, a background with acrylic paint. I just use craft paint. This is just, I like Americana by Deco Art, but whatever craft brand you like, just make sure it's not satin or gloss. I'm getting a baby wipe to clean the paint off. Okay, so that's acrylic paint. And here's black pencil. So let's say you wanted to do a black background and you colored it with pencil, which, that's a lot of work right there to color the whole thing in background with a color, black or any color. And then this is black acrylic paint. So let me dry that. And if you're watching the recording on YouTube, thanks for watching. This is a live show on Ustream. I stream every Monday, Wednesday, and the occasional Friday, 9 a.m. Eastern on Ustream. It's free. Just sign up, come over. We record and we upload to YouTube. No editing, no speeding up, no anything. It is what it is, folks. Okay, so now let me take my white pencil. Now, I'm going to do hard pressure first. I'm going to do hard pressure, white pencil over black, right? So here we go. I'm putting complete hard pressure on there. You see it smears, and you know, make sure you always clean off the tip of your pencil. That's why you see all this here. Clean off the tip of your pencil so it doesn't get on other areas. Okay. So no matter how much hard pressure I put over black pencil, you're not getting that white, okay? Now I'm going to go up here, and with just medium pressure, I'm going to go over the black acrylic paint. Look. You can get that completely white again. And even just with light pressure, no pressure at all. Look. See? So this is the advantage of painting any big area, really. With acrylic paint, and that doesn't matter what color it is. If you paint your whole background with pencil, whatever color pencil you use, you cannot do this. That feathery bit, that white cloud, or any kind of, you know, a glow around a light, a lamp or a lantern, the glow, you know, a yellow glow or something like that. Jean, don't do that. Jean says she's been known to use her heat gun to warm up her toes. Jean, do not do that. Please. You're scaring me, girl. Get you up. I'm sure. Maybe you don't, but if you don't, Jean, you need one of those blankets. You know, they're like half the size of a twin bed blanket size that plugs in, that you can throw over your legs or around your shoulders. You need one of those, sassy pants. Okay, so there you go. There's over paint, and that's over pencil. So it's just, you cannot, I know, Jerry, some of them are long. I know some of the ads are long. You can get an ad blocker. I don't do it. You know, I don't, but you can. So anyway, I like to show this every now and then to show the benefit of painting your backgrounds or any large areas. And this works even if it's just a wash. Remember when I showed Imagimorphia and all those on Wednesday, and all my big animals and creatures have a wash of acrylic paint? Well, even with just a wash, in other words, watered down acrylic paint, even with just a wash of acrylic paint, you can still do this. And you can't do it if you have it all penciled like this. Oh, okay, Jean, gotcha. Gotcha. Well, maybe just on your toes then, Jean. Get you like a hand towel warmer and put it around your toes. Oh my goodness. Okay, so I just like to show that every now and then. So let's put that to the side, and I'm going to put a piece of cardstock behind my page again so that we don't dent or, you know, nothing happens to the next page. Okay, so you girls are funny. You have trouble getting the acrylic smooth. Melissa, no, not on my backgrounds. I do not water it down. If I'm covering, let's just say I wanted a wash on this, then I'd water that down. If you didn't water it down, you'd cover up all your color book lines, right? And I got a little ding of paint there. You'd cover up all the color book lines. In the background, if you want a flat color, no water. And if you're having a hard time getting it flat, it's just you got to smooth it out with your brush. You just got to keep going, you know, just keep going over it till you smooth it out. I'm trying to do them 3 times a month, Jerry. Jerry's asking me on the Society of Idea Collectors. I'm trying to do them at least 2 or 3 times a month on Mondays. I try to do them on Monday mornings, you know, and sometimes I get busy and don't have a time to plan out some new something for it for Monday morning. But yeah, but again, on the Society of Idea Collectors, if y'all are in the Society Idea Collectors group, and there's a playlist. I have a playlist on YouTube of all the Society of Idea Collectors videos. Remember, all those are ideas and are tools, and they can carry over to so many other things. And Jerry, I know you've watched Mary Altier's videos, so you know too how many ways you can use. I'm just giving you a basic, mind mapping, listing, idea techniques. They're very basic. And, if you want more in-depth mind mapping or anything like that, it's all out there. Yeah. Uh, yeah, and again, that's true, Jean. Don't put too much paint on your brush at once. I use it thick, but I do smooth it out. I do move it around. I know, Azure, she is. I spread out, but it looks a little blotchy. Well, now that can depend on the color too. Some colors like yellow, red, lime green might need 2 coats. So if it's not completely flat, then you just need to put 2 coats, because some colors are more translucent than others. Okay? All right, so now I'm going to go ahead and decide what I want to do down here. Well, no, maybe we'll do this first. This little wing here, I thought about doing it gold or something, like we did the little belt loops and the little propeller and some of the metal bits on the bike with the gold gel pen, and I just used the Pintail Sunburst Metallic. These come in a 2-pack, a silver and a gold. I get them at Hobby Lobby, and you can get them for a couple of dollars. They last a long, long time. They're, to me, the best gold and silver. The Sunburst. And they used to make a white a long time ago. I guess you could probably still hunt it up, but I guess they don't make the white anymore, according to Staples anyway. All right, so I have to decide on. I got my tray of polys, which my polys will eventually go into a case. Right now I have them in a tray. And the same thing for all the Prismas that I use. I'm trying to just use polys on this, except for the white Prisma. I don't know. Nothing beats a white Prisma to me. And then I have this my little tray here with 2 or 3 different, whatever pencil sharpeners are handy. I do like this little M&R, because it has the wide, which is good for polys. Well, wait, there. Polys on this one, because polychromos are a little thicker. And so I like to use this one for the polys and then this one for my Prisma. So yeah. Okay, so let's see here. I think I'll do this little basket next, because I'm going to do it in the same browns. A little lighter, maybe 1 shade lighter of like maybe a yellow ochre in there. Let's see, do I want this one or this one? Probably this one. Okay, and so I'm going to tell you some of the colors I'm pulling. And I don't know, if I'll use them or not. I need my magnifying glass. I can usually read the colors when they're like light on dark, but when they're light on gold, writing on practically a gold, I can't see it. So let's see. This one's just ochre, I think. And this one is, again, man, that one's gold on yellow. I can't even see that one. Let me go over here by the light. Lighter ochre, light yellow ochre. So I'm going to start with that. I think I'm just going to go ahead and put a nice, let me see if I can zoom in one more. Oh, good, good. Well, let me know when you do. Post it or let me know, like post a comment or something on one of the society, because I'll get it in an email. Let me zoom in here. Whoops, hang on. Let's see. Okay. Hopefully it's not too, when I zoom in this much, it does get a little bit out of focus, but when I try to get any closer, you know, I want y'all to be able to see. Wait, where's my black tray here? Let me get a black tray so it kind of help focus. I think that's as good as it's gonna get. Okay, so let's go ahead. Oh, good. Oh, well, that's going to be great. Jerry Bellini's going to use her Society of Idea Collecting for her recycling projects. There's just so many things you can do with, you know, listing, mind mapping, and new combination of things. You know, it's just a way to generate ideas. You know, people say, oh, I can't think of anything to draw or write or color, you know, whatever the excuse is. You need to be doing some mind mapping. Okay, so that's just a coat of that. Now I'm going to go ahead and take like the ochre. What was it again? Burnt ochre. And I'm going to just kind of flick in. It's kind of like this. Is it like a straw basket? You know, it's kind of like a straw. There's a little. And this is just, I'm just layering up with the polys. Or, yeah, layering as opposed to, I think of polys as layering, prismas as blending. That's just the best way I can describe. So something like this. It doesn't take too much. This is little. I mean, I'm really zoomed in, but look, that's not much bigger than 2 fingernails. See, it's really tiny. We are really zoomed in. So thanks everybody for being here on Hump Day. I have a new color book I'm going to show after this one, after coloring in this one. And if you're just joining us, we're coloring in Tenderful Enchantments, Klara Markova. And I do have it a little on the bright side. It's here, let me show you here. Let me tilt it. There's a little bit more of the true color. But it'll get too dark if I turn if I turn the light down too much. But there's a little bit more of the true color. It's just a little darker than you see because of the lighting, right? And the light does fluctuate, especially when I have my blinds open and the sun is trying to come out from a rainy day. Yeah, dot books are fun too. They're kind of like the little grid books and stuff like that. Those kind of books, they're good too. But you just need a lot of room to. If you mind map, tiny books are hard to do because you want your mind maps to expand. I'm gonna keep coloring while I talk. You want your mind mapping and your thinking and your free thinking and your free writing and all. You want that to. You don't have to confine it to a tiny book. So even if you just use copy paper, to do the mind mapping, use your copy paper and then rewrite it with just what you need. Okay, I'm going to do these. I'm going to get a couple of shades of green out for the leaves flying around. No, you know what? Do I want them to be fall leaves? I might want them to be fall leaves. And I did miss a little bit right here. I did miss a little of the paint, so I'm going to just color that in. I don't want to get the paint back out for that one little spot. But I did miss a little spot right there with the paint. Okay, I think I'm gonna do fall leaves rather than green leaves. So let's get out some oranges and stuff. Some oranges, got a couple yellow ochres. I'll tell you the colors as best as I can here in a minute. I had one red here, but I guess I put it away. Here it is. The scarlet red and a deep red. Let's see. Or maybe almost a purple color. And one more red. I don't know that I'm going to use all these. I'm just pulling them out. I'm just pulling out some. Oh, wait, here. No, that's too pink. I'm not used to the colors yet in polys. But I am having fun with them. That's for sure. Maybe I got a couple browns there. I just need one darker red. Let's see. What about that one? Okay. So I'm going to just get out some yellows and reds and oranges. And I don't think I've ever heard of that one, Azure. All right, so let's see here. We have dark cadmium orange. And I think I already told you all this. Dark Naples ochre. These are just yellow ochre. Not used to the color names yet. Scarlet red. Red violet. And deep scarlet red. So those are the colors that I have other than the browns that I already had pulled out. So that's what I'm going to be working on the leaves. So I'm just going to do these. There's a few little flyaway leaves here, and then all these leaves down here, a couple flowers. I might do them in a yellow ochre. I'll probably do the mushroom in red, you know, kind of like, I do this one in pink, but kind of like this, but with red. So yeah. All right, so I think I'm just going to start with a couple let's get a yellow and orange and a kind of a light brown. And I'm just going to randomly, I mean, I know oak leaves probably change one way, and I'm just going to base coat them first. Like just put a flat color on each one. So like maybe these oak leaves, this one and this one. Light, I'm just putting light layers here. And then maybe one of these up here. Let's do this one. There's 4 little leaves floating around, so I'm going to kind of color different ones. So like that layer. Now let's take another one and let's do these here. This is just to color them in, and then I'll go back and shade. That, and maybe these. Like they're all turning fall, you know. Get them colored in like that. And there is a hump right there because of the, maybe if I put the pencil thing there, kind of lean it. There we go. All right, and then these. And this one. Let's put a nice base coat. Now I'll go to the orange, and let's do some. And these down here. So the usual question, what are you guys working on? Are y'all coloring, painting, drawing, recycling? Jerry. Okay, this one, well, I'll go ahead and do it orange too. It needs just to have a different. Okay. And then maybe I'll do those red. I think I'll do those flowers the reds because I think that would just brighten it up. So I'm going to start with the scarlet red, which is the lighter, and then I'll shade with the, I don't remember what, I think I shaded with this purple color, a red violet last, I don't remember. Okay, well, we'll see. I'm going to put a coat of red, a scarlet red down on all the flowers here. These little, like look like they're folding up for the fall. CB is fussy cutting for ATC. Which ATC are you in? Are you talking about Ange's? Ange's the only, that was the last one that I heard that's out and open. That'll be nice. Tatiana is working on a snowy cabin in the forest picture. Ooh, snow is fun. I think snow's fun. Dot's eating a cheese toastie. She's in the UK, so it's lunchtime. Mountain Dreamer is a Card Pal Cars towel. Oh, I missed that. Let's see if I can scroll back. Chat moves pretty quick. Towels coloring in William Stout's dinosaur book. Oh, I don't think I've ever heard of that one. Need pictures. Kenny is in Tenderful Enchantments. The girl with the oranges growing out of her head. Kia's crocheting a crocodile. Krusty Brush is coloring in Magic Path by Nicolette Corley. Don't think I've ever heard of that one either, Krusty. Yep, Jerry Bellini says she's working on recycling art projects. Meep is working in intricate animals. I like intricate animals. You're doing a page for each child in the daycare. Oh, I hope you're doing some like watercolor washes or something, Meep, because those they go fast if you do them with watercolors. I've done a couple with watercolors. They go pretty fast. But yeah, how many is that? That would probably, a whole daycare full. I don't know how many kids are in your, that you're talking about. Jerry believes making a new planner, using an old book, musical tatty. I haven't touched the snow yet. Super nervous. Try purples. That's what I did a video on the Yeti in Myth. I think it was in Mythomorphia, and did purple snow. I mean, you don't have to. I'm just saying that's an idea. Hello said 4 castles in Mysterious Library and the werewolf. Yeah, the werewolf. I've done the werewolf. That's a tricky one. That one took me hours. The werewolf in Mythomorphia is probably one of the most time consuming. Janet's doing absolutely nothing. Sandra just got up. Melissa's going to move y'all to the art room so you can collage in your journal. There's 22 kids. Oh my goodness. I hope you're doing watercolor washes. You can do them. I think we did them like one an hour. We did a few of them. Maybe even less than an hour. If it is on a figure out snow play. Tatiana, figure out snow playlist. Okay, so let me go in here now with the dark. This is the red violet. Yeah, red violet. So where I did the red, so you got a little dark again in here. See what I mean about the light? If I get it too bright, then it gets too dark. Okay, so I'm going to use that to do the shading on the flowers first. I don't know what color I want to do these little stamens here. And then the little creases, I'm just going to kind of do that here. Then I'll shade with the medium red. Feather it out. I hope y'all can see, guys. If I can't get much closer without it completely. Let's see. I like y'all to see what I'm doing, but at the same time, it's like, let's see. Let's try to brighten it up again. No, not that way. Let's try it this way. No. Let's try it this way. There. Nope, no, no. Oh my gosh. I try, guys. Let's see. And let's try to refocus. Okay. That might be as good as it's going to get this close. Because, I mean, I'm so zoomed in, guys. Look, that's the size of my fingernail. Connie, tried napkin journal last night. Failed. Finished. What happened with your napkin journal, Connie? Let us talk you through it. So I'm going to shade down here with the darkest. I'm just going to use, like 3 shades. I'm not going to, this is tiny business right here. It's very tiny. It just looks big because I'm so zoomed in. But when I zoom back out, you'll go, oh my gosh, that was so little. And then I'll take the medium red, which one was it? The deep scarlet, and feather that in. Something like this. And I'll probably take my white and just kind of go over the top. And my white, I'm using my Prisma. Something like that. Maybe just a little more red on the, like that. It's kind of pretty. Maybe a little white on the tips of that would be good. And if I want to do that, this is where I like my Posca. Okay, so right on the tips, let me get one that's working. This one may not be. Might have ruined this one with some other paint something. Your color smeared. You mean the ink from the napkins smeared, Connie? So I'm just going to do the very tips of those flowers like that. And I could have just left it white, but, you know, I might as well just, you know, go with that. Maybe a couple little bit of highlights right there in the middle. So I just love my Poscas for that kind of stuff. Okay, I didn't let it dry and I smeared it. There we go. Got to let it sit for a minute because it's, you know, acrylic paint and a pen. Yeah, you can't beat Prisma White, exactly. Do you? No, I don't like the Gamma Sol and all that. I don't. There's a couple things about that, and Azure showed me a new. To me, it looks like Citrusol. I don't know what it is. It's called, and maybe if Azure will tell us again the name of it. She told me about a product she saw, like it's like citrus something or orange something or. Anyway, I think it looks like Citrusol. I know a lot of people use Gamasol and, you know, mineral spirit, you know, paint thinners on it. Here's my thing with it. A couple things. One, some of them smell. Two, some of them leave an oily ring and go through. And some people say, well, they dry. And, you know, I don't know. I've used those products in oil painting, and they don't just go away. So there's that thing, the oily rings. And the other thing too, to me, when you and I'm not dissing on anybody that uses it, because you do have really pretty, flat, smooth results when you use those liquid products that and essentially what it does is melts your wax, right, or the oils in the pencil and smooth it out. When it's done, it just looks like a marker. It's just flat. I mean, it has a, you know, you can see a bit of a transition, but, you know, depending on how much you use and how good you are at using it, you're practically flattening out your piece. And I never would ever use it on any of my portraits. Gamasol, none of that stuff. I'd never use any of that on my portraits. I wouldn't trust it. So anyway, Jerry, just to answer your question, I have seen people do awesome things with it, but the depth that you can get with pencils, to me, can. Now, don't everybody say, well, so-and-so does it and it doesn't happen to her. So I'm sure there's people out there, don't email me, people, don't leave me a nasty comment, that so-and-so does it and it doesn't happen to her. But it flattens out the pencil to me. And, you know, nothing wrong with that if you like the, you know, it's like a marker. It makes it almost look like a flat, like a marker looks. When I use markers, I like it to be either tiny, tiny little places where you just want a flat color, or I'll go over it with pencil, right? Yeah, and that's one of the things. Some of it, zest it. Yeah, zest it smells, Kenny. Okay. That's what I was thinking of that Azure told me about. Yeah, zest it. And I think, to me, I think it's Citrusol, but you know, don't quote me on that. But again, the smells. I don't like to, you know, I don't do oil painting anymore. I don't like smells. I don't fixative anything. I can smell that fixative 10 years later on some of my old art. No, I don't color in a specific direction. I like to say that you should color in the direction of the thing, but that's just, you know, like one layer. You know, you can do little circles, you can do cross hatching. Depends on how big, too. If I'm doing a full-on portrait, then I'm going to go 10 ways a Sunday, right, to blend it. But on something, look how tiny this is, guys. It's barely bigger than my fingernail. I mean, here, I'm going to show you real quick. I mean, I know y'all know, but I'm going to look. Look how small we're working. This is how small we're working right here. You know, you don't need a lot of different directions and blending on something this small. But when you're doing portraits and all, you know, it's a different story. All right, so let's see if I can focus again here a little better. Um, yeah, exactly, Azure. It depends on what you like your pencil to look like. Some people may like it to be flat. You know, nothing wrong with it. I'm not, like I said, I'm not dissing on anybody's way of doing nothing because there's just so many ways, so many fun and different ways to color and all, right? So again, I'm going to do these little flower buds. Let me get my cardstock down here so I'm not on a hump. But I just try to tell people I'm not a teacher. I'm just demoing. I know you can learn things from what I show you, obviously, but I'm just demoing what works for me. Okay. What medium are you using to glue it down, Connie? Connie's talking about our napkins smearing. On her, it could have just been that particular kind of napkin you have too. Or it could have been what you were gluing it down with. Is it just that one napkin? Or is it all the napkins you use? If all your napkins are smearing like that, then I would say it's what you're using to glue down with, but I don't know. Yeah, Azure, the hard lead pencils like Prismacolor, what are they called? I hardly ever use them. I see. It's Verathins. The Verathins are a hard lead for tiny details. Yeah, you can do stuff on black paper. Verathins are real hard pencils. I'm kind of waiting. I think it was marker. Oh, okay. So you use marker? Okay, yeah. Yeah, that's one of the things about mixed media that you do have to be aware of any water-soluble mediums that you use. Fix that bike right there. Okay, back over here. Because they'll reactivate. Dilutions inks, I think the mermaid markers, those will reactivate. So you have to be aware of when you go over the top of something. That could reactivate. Okay, got flashed out again. It wasn't the napkin, it was the picture. Okay. Oh, a picture you added with the napkin. Okay. All right, let me fix this, guys. It got really bright because the sun came back out. Let me close my blinds. It's going to fluctuate way too much. There we go. It's a little better. Okay. Hopefully. There we go. Yeah, I try to get as close as I can for you guys when I'm shading and blending. But, you know. So this is the back side, the petal in the back. And I do a lot of talking and then we don't get done in any length of time here. But all right, so now going back with the red. I need the dark again right in here. Yeah, well, it's just popping back and forth out of the clouds, Suzanne. So, and every time it does, it makes my lighting change, right? Because I'm right next to the window, which I like being next to the window for, you know, my everyday work. Sitting here, It's just that when I'm streaming, it does fluctuate the light. Okay, there's that. And then I'll take my white and just kind of and then I'll go in there with the Posca on the tips. And then I'm not sure what I want to do with the little stamens. Do I just want them white? Kind of would probably be a nice pop. Okay, so this one, these might have just a little bit of highlight on the high points of the flower. Maybe a couple on the tips there. Just fun to play with the highlights with the Poscas. All right, so let's come back over here. And I'm going to get that. I'm trying to decide if I want, let's go ahead and do it and see what happens. Might get kind of lost, I don't know. I might add a couple extra stamens in there. Yeah, well, maybe I'll go around them with the blue a little bit. Blue pencil, make them stand back out from the background. So let's try that. I can always color over it if it's not bright enough. But I kind of like the white because I haven't done the leaves yet here. So what's my favorite color pencils? Well, I'm used to Prismacolors because I've used them for, 30 years or more. I don't even know when I first used them. Maybe 40. Back when they were Barrel, then Sanford, then Premier. They changed names, but and the reason I say is just because I'm used to them. I know what they do. I know what I can do with them. But I am liking the poly colors. The polychromos have some good colors. I'm just not used to how they work yet because they're oil-based. Prismacolors are wax-based. So, every one of them has their own properties, and you have to get used to them. And I just haven't practiced enough yet with other brands. So, yeah. Thanks, guys. All right, so I'm liking that. Now, I got to let that dry a little bit. And as soon as it dries, I'll go in here with the blue. Let me sharpen. And go around the little stamens, make them, sharpen up a little bit. Hi, Prismacolor. Okay, so now let's go in here on some of the orange, the yellow, kind of the sienna, ochre color, and go back in here now with, let's go with the little, do I want orange? Do I want a darker orange? Let's see, maybe. Yeah, this one. This is a light cad red. And I can't tell you every time I switch a pencil what color it is. For one, I have to, probably have to get my magnifying glass out for every time, and that's way, 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 way too time consuming. So I just try to tell you the colors I pull, and you're probably not going to use the exact same colors anyway, but you can kind of get an idea. So I'm just going over the veins and maybe a little bit around some of the edges here with another color. And then I'll blend with the third color. Dorothy likes Prismacolor too. What about you, Jerry? Do you use a lot of pencils? You do a lot of different things too. And the pencils are a little hard. Well, they're quite a bit harder than Prismacolor. so they don't dull down, so they keep, you know, you don't have to sharpen them as much, but they are just different because they're oil rather than wax based. You just got to get used to them. That's all it is. You like your Prismacolors, Jerry? I didn't know if you had a favorite or. But I do like these polys. Again, you know, they have some good colors. And it goes down quick. It's like with the polys, you're layering. Just like color on top of color on top of color. Prismacolors mesh. They blend. And that's the only way I can best describe it. I know it's probably not the best way to describe it. But polys layer, Prismas blend. Okay. And now I'm going to take the lighter. Let's see, do I want a lighter? Yeah, orange. Yeah, maybe even a lighter yet. So I'm going to go with even a lighter orange. And again, I can't see the color. Yellow pencil, gold writing. Orange. I think this is just orange. Oh, cat orange. Okay, cadmium orange. It's kind of like a light orange. And so I'm just going to kind of blend everything on these orange leaves with that. And if you know, you can always go back in there with a little bit dark, you know, go back in there with your, oops, small one, you know, darker. If you need some areas darker, I'm just going to kind of layer over. Because I'm kind of doing them all fall colors. You like them all, Connie? Jerry says, I tend to go from one project and then in a totally different direction. But my pencils are on my desk, so I will grab for them. Yeah, me too. I keep them all on the desk. And, you know, my Holbees and Lumies, they're in cases. I don't use them as often. But I'm using I had the polys. I want to put them in a case. But, like, here's all my Prismas I use every day. Now, this is a silverware tray, right? Silverware tray. And these are the colors I use every day, like especially with portraits and stuff. But I have bundles. Like, here's a blue bundle. So I have tons of Prisma, and I keep them in rubber bands, and they're right here in front of me in my little cubby that I built with foam core. And so I have them in bundles. So if I go to this tray here and I need a certain blue, and I know my Prismas really well. So I know, like, if I don't have the certain blue in here, then I can go, you know, dig it out, right? So eventually I'm going to put my polys in a case too, but in the meantime, I put them all in a silverware tray. So you can see, like, here's all my red, yellows, and oranges. Look how many. And that's not even including the ones I pulled out. Here's some more. So I have like, here's all my polys right here, right? And then here's all the greens. I mean, this deep. There's, you know, there's a lot in here. But if they're right here next to me, it will make me use them. And that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to make myself use the polys to get used to them. You ever been? No. It's just, to me, it's easy because I can just grab, like, here's all my browns in my Prisma. And so what I just do is, if I need a brown, I have it, it's bundled up, and I just take my pencils and go like this. And I can see every single color. So, yeah, so having my polys in a tray, like my daily using Prismas, I find that I'm picking them up more. I'm picking them up and using them more. Whereas if I put them in a nice case, which eventually I will once I get used to them, I won't use them as much. Because it's a habit just to reach for a pencil if you need a certain color, right? And if you have them handy, you'll use them much more. It's like anything else, any of your supplies. If you can get right at them, you're going to use them. Do you need? Yeah, because, well, I'm not sure that they can be all used interchangeably. I haven't used my polys enough, which are oil-based, trying to mix them with Prisma, other than I'm using my white here on top of polys. My white Prisma on top of polys. I haven't used them enough to know how well they would all work together, especially on my portraits. So when I'm doing a portrait, I'm very particular about what I'm reaching for. So I have to be very conscious when I'm doing my portraits. So I'm not well versed in my polys enough to know how they would all interact. I need to do a show where we kind of do some charts. You know, we did that once before with just a few, like 3 or 4 colors. I think we did red, yellow, and blue, white and black with polys, loomies, you know, with all the different ones. But it wasn't really like a lot of different hues and shades and blending and all that, right? But we probably need to do a show where we're you know, trying to interchange different pencils. Okay, so let me take my blue here. The problem, here's one of the things, and Jerry can probably attest to this. I don't know, maybe some of y'all that stream a lot or do videos. When you do shows like that, where you're doing a real in-depth test, not that it matters because it's not going to stop me from doing it. I'm taking my blue poly now and going around everything to sharpen. When you do those kind of shows, you got to be ready to have all kinds of email, all kinds of contradictory things, and you're just trying to test something. You're just trying to test something and show people different ways that things work, and you get all this, no, that's not true. This is a wax. That's an oil. This is this. Go look at so-and-so's video. So-and-so does it this way. So-and-so does it that way. And they're all contradictory in themselves, too. They all have different points of view, too. But you got to deal with that. I just don't know if I want to deal with that, It's like, if y'all want to know how something works, go find somebody else to bug. That's kind of how I feel like, I'm not here to review and test and give y'all, exact everything on all the projects. I'm here to color, paint, draw, So it's like, oh my gosh, people, it's like, that's why I tell y'all, I'm not a product reviewer. You're going to find different people that are going to say different things than I do. Just go over there and tell them that you disagree with them. I don't want to hear it. I really don't want to hear it. You keep your pencils in a cup, in your markers. Yeah, I've got my markers all lay flat. My pencils, again, it doesn't matter if they are. For me, it's easier to, like here's my Prismas. Here, let me, I don't know, Jerry's not been here before, so let me kind of do this here. I'll show you. Okay, so I'm going to zoom back out. Again, you can see how tiny I'm coloring. So yeah, these are my Prismas that I use. These are the colors I use constantly. Okay, they get all mixed up. I try to every now and then get all the blues, the greens, the yellows, reds, and oranges, and all the neutrals here. And then these are stubs and, just whatever here. Okay, little bits of an eraser, and this is just this is like kind of like the junk drawer. But these are the colors I use all the time, especially, when I'm doing portraits. I mean, I'll grab other colors too occasionally, and depending on what kind of things, colors in their clothes and stuff like that. Okay, and now, like I said, I got my polys all in here for now. And again, they've already got kind of confused. Here's my grays, all my neutrals here. It's the same kind of layout as over there. And then pinks and purples here, orange, yellows, and reds here. Greens here, and because this tray is wider, I can put all my blues over here. Okay, so they fit, whereas this tray had like a little, it wasn't long enough to put a whole bunch of pencils in there. So this is kind of just how I have them now. Now I do have some of these shorter ones like this. These are pencils my older polys. I had maybe about 10 10 or 15 polys that I've had for a long time. I just didn't really, experiment with them. Get that disclaimer? Yeah, my opinion. Exactly, Jerry. And so some of these are not my new set. Um, so there's like this one. This is not from the new set, stuff like that. So I have them in here for now because I want to force myself to use them. And if they're on my desk, sitting right here, I will use them. That being said, I'm going to move the camera, so just everybody don't freak out. Don't email me say, you made me dizzy. You made me dizzy when you moved that camera. I tell you, I get it. This is why, I'll just say this like up front. This is why my comments are approved only. My comments on YouTube are approval only. Uh, so, I approve every comment. If you're calling, just calling, you made me dizzy moving the camera. That doesn't get put on there. Just saying. So don't even bother. Okay, so Jerry, here's how I have my setup right here. Okay. Let's see if I can move stuff around here so you can see the whole. It's kind of a mess. Let's see. All right, so here we go. All right, so I'm going to move the camera. Terry, that's why you're TT, Terry Trouble. I know, Connie. But I mean, seriously, guys, I'm used to it. But that doesn't mean that I have to just like, I just delete it. Okay, so here's what we're coloring. So this right here, what I'm going to show you is what I built out of foam board. Okay, so here, I'm going to go all the way across. It's little cubbies, and there's my markers, and it's kind of dark because, it is black. The cubby, it's black foam board. So I have all my markers and pencils all in these little cubbies. See, these are all Prismacolors all along the top up here. These are all Prismas, and you can't see them here. They're kind of, the browns. And then I've got my markers, and then down at the bottom here, in these, now I didn't build these. These are those, I put my cubbies on top of those square black baskets. So these are the little, there's my Dilutions paints there. Then I have a square of blue, a square plastic little bin of browns, yellows, oranges, greens and blues, pinks and purples, neutrals, black and white. And then over here I have this too. This is my acrylic paint there. My water. Here's my, see, this is my 2 trays here. Got some washi tape here. Washi tape, washi tape, washi tape. And then just some bins with some stamping stuff. Here's my little baby wipe I'm cleaning my hands with. And then here you guys are right here on Lappy. Right, there's the cord. So, and then up on top up here, I have some rolls of pencils, my Verithins. There's my Magicals up there. This is a whole bunch of new Sharpies and my new calligraphy pens that I've shown all this. But I just kind of bundled those up in there. And then here's my mermaid markers and all that in this case. My mermaid markers and my water brush, real water brush. I got them in this little case. So I know where everything is. Everything has its place, right? And then all this is my drawing pencil. Oh, hang on, let me move this over. These are all my black and white pens and pencil case. So there's my, again, it's dark, black pencils and pens. So these are my little drawing stuff, black pens to draw, and this is all pencils. And I've done a review, or not a review, but a flip through of all that, these cases. So, all right, so now let me fix my camera back up here. So that's how everything for me is right here. Because you got to remember, I sit here all day long working. I want everything handy. Thanks, Azure. Thanks, Connie. That's sweet. Pencils need to be out, not trapped in pencil cases. Well, I have my pencil cases for the Loomies. They're over on the side over here. For Loomies, Holbeins, the Holbeys are in a case. My ink tints are all in a case. My Neo colors I leave in the case because They're crayons, and Jean has her a different way of homing hers, putting hers in a home. But my Neo colors, I leave them in the case because they're crayons, right? Whoops. See? They're crayons, and they can break, and they're not cheap. Now, granted, I gotta say, I've had these, I want to say 4 to 5 years. I lose track of time. Hubster bought these for me for my birthday a few years ago, and you can barely tell any of them have been used because they're so concentrated and they last a long time. So if you want a water soluble, make sure you get the water soluble crayon. You're gonna try the pencil. Yeah, they're just silverware trays. Silverware trays are awesome. Have you ever used them? Yes, I've used the Magicals caper. Not much, but yeah, I have used them a couple times. If y'all want to see those magical powders being used, Janet, Monkey Island Magnets, Janet has used them, and I keep it right here too. See, these are, it's like, I got more of the kids' Crayola markers. I got a whole bunch of Sharpies down there on the bottom. This is kind of like my portable little sketch stuff. So I keep them in a big bag here so I can move it from room to room. Anyway, I moved that to get to this. Janet does Magicals. She made me this journal. This is all done. She did these papers with Magicals, the powders. And then she cut the papers up in strips and wove them together. Wove the black paper with the magical paper. So look how pretty that is. The Magicals are nice and vibrant. You need I love to organize. And Hubster always kids me. I'll say, well, I'm going to go organize my studio. He'll just say, yeah, you need to do that. It's not the neatest. It's not perfectly neat, but it's organized. It's organized. I can pretty much, except I still have not found my old drawings of the avatars I did for Yuru. I can't find that binder. But everything else is pretty much, I know where pretty much everything is. Because Eileen makes you do these. Well, anyway, so I have this beautiful little journal, and she has a little, she put a little palette on there for me. So I love this. And actually, I haven't used it yet because I sit there. It's right here in front of me so I can stare at it. But I have to find a special. I thought about quotes, but I don't know. I'll find a special use for it. But I just love it because Janet made it for me. All right, so let's straighten up here. Okay, so let's go ahead and zoom back in again. Sorry, we get rabbit trails here. We got rabbit trails. Okay, so that's pretty good. I think I'm still focused. I don't know. I've moved so much around. Let me get a black tray, though. That pulls the light. Okay. So anyway, that's where I work, Jerry. You're in the process of remodeling your forever home. Hubs is, and my art room is amazing, and I'm looking forward to setting up my art stuff in it. I've seen a couple posts and stuff every now and then. I think on Facebook or somewhere I see you posting. Maybe it's Instagram, Jerry. Yeah. Ask Denise. She may know where my folder is. She won't remember, Suzanne. The last time Denise comes and helps me. Let me keep coloring here. Denise will come over and make me throw things away. But she doesn't tell me where to put things after the fact. They're talking about my daughter who comes and makes me throw things away. All right, so what I'm doing here is with the blue, I'm just kind of tightening up some areas where I painted, around everything. And just kind of tightening it up. I still got these other, let me do this leaf here. I haven't done this one yet. Or that one. Or that one. So yeah, I said I was going to be here an hour doing this, and we get to talking, and that usually. Oh yeah, but I don't mind. I like the talk and the chat. And if you're watching the show and you don't like it, just fast forward. Put me on mute. You won't hurt my feelings. Just don't email me. Now, and I say that, guys, if if you have a question or something, of course you can ask and email me. I think you know what I'm talking about when I say don't email me or don't comment, about complaints and stuff like that. I'm here to have some fun and just, color and draw for you guys. I'm doing it for, the fun and enjoyment of hanging out with you guys. That's why I like to stream and not just make videos. I mean, I could just make videos and put them up, some short videos, 15, 20 minutes, little techniques, but that's not fun for me. I do that all day long when I'm by myself. When I'm by myself all day, I'm constantly doing this stuff by myself. So I like to do the live shows so that you guys can chat and hang out and talk to each other and, stuff. So, yeah. This one needs a little more shadow under it, I think. A little bit more red in that one. Maybe on this one too. I know, isn't that journal gorgeous? Yeah. Monkey Island Madness is Janet. And she Ustreams and usually uploads her videos to YouTube too. As does Jean, our musical scrapper Jean, who does watercolors lately. She does other things too, but she's been really concentrating on learning watercolor in a real way. And so her watercolors are really good. You gotta, I mean, I can't even express to you, just a few years ago, Jean would not even touch paint. Literally would not touch paint. If you knew how far Jean has come, you guys would say, oh my gosh, I can do all this. I can do it too, if you knew Jean. Like I know Jean. Sorry, the song just came to my head. All right, so let's do these little yellow ones down here with some orange. And keep these lighter. Just go over the veins and some of the... She has pointillism. She shades with pointillism. Klara Markova. All her shading is done with pointillism. Dots. So you just kind of follow where her dots are to shade if you don't know. Like, I don't know where to shade. That's one of the nice things about color books. It teaches you how to shade, blend, color combination. So much good stuff from color books. Don't anybody be dissing on color books around me, because I see so many people have learned so many art techniques from color books. And people that say, oh, I can't draw a straight line, but they'll pick up a color book and feel like they've done, something creative, which you have. Done something really creative and colored something really beautiful. So yeah, I'm going to color this leaf right in here. Jean is an inspiration for watercolor, for sure, Suzanne, for sure. So, okay, that little orange one. And the thing about color books too is you can practice so many techniques. Acrylic washes, watercolor washes, neocolor, color pencil, all kinds of markers, and you can just use so many things. Okay, so I'm liking that. Those little those little leaves there, and these little ones floating around. Now I'm going to take my white Posca and do a little bit of highlighting. I think I'm going to leave the little ladybugs, although I do need to go around them a little bit. Tighten up the color. I'm going to leave those little underwings, the little... They're probably supposed to be like a tan color, but I'm going to leave them white just because they'll stand out, and I want them to like that. So I colored their little bodies. If you comment mean and rude, Dee Dee won't put it on. That's right, I won't put it. That's what I mean, yeah, because I approve all my comments. There's some old videos that I don't have that put on there, but, pretty much anything I've done in the last couple years. They are a great tool for sure and have become an art form all of their own with their popularity. Yeah. Well, you're just doing so awesome with the watercolor, Jean. Just so proud of you. Yeah, Karen, but you learn so many techniques and things from color books. And then after you've done some shading and some blending and some, different things, then you feel like, oh, I can go do that on something else, right? Um, well, yeah, and that's true. I think, Jean. Not me in particular, but all of us that color in color books and show different ways to do things with different mediums. It does make the color books popular. And speaking of that, I do have a new color book I'm going to show if I ever finish this page. Uh, yes, the leaves are very tiny. Here's my fingernail. They're little. We are very zoomed in. Hey, Colleen. Yeah, exactly, Colleen. Some people are real good. I'm not going to say who because I don't want anybody to go snark on their channel because I say they're good at replying. And I think some of y'all know who's good at it. There's some YouTubers that are really good at answering snarky people. And I just don't want to take the time. But some of our friends here are really, really good at it. And it's hilarious. Oh, but anyway. Okay, so yeah, I'm just going back over those little stamens, and then I'll take my blue and just kind of separate them nice and kind of sharpen them, right? It's time consuming to do that. Snark back at the trolls, Eh, eh. Okay, so I'm just kind of going, and I try to do this, before I upload. Sometimes I have time, sometimes I don't. But I try to really go over every little bit and see any place that might need adjusting or sharpening or, darker color, more highlight, more whatever. All right, so I think these need a little bit more light right on the tips. Okay, so I think I got all the little leaves pretty well done. Oh, I don't know. I don't want to really make this a three-parter. But, we do get to chatting here. And also, the other thing, if you do highlight something with the Posca, and of course, it's white, right? Or you can use other colors, too. But if you're highlighting with the Posca and it looks too white to you, just let it dry. Don't touch it. Let it dry. And then go back over it with a pencil. So I'm going to do that with these. I add a little bit extra highlight so they stand out in the clouds. Now, as soon as it dries, I'll go over them with yellow. So that white will go to yellow, right? Hey, Jen. Yes, me too. I know. Me too, Jen. Jen says she prefers the Dee Dee method, delete and block. I don't have to block many people, I gotta say. Most times, if somebody sees their comment is not getting put up on my video because I've deleted the comment, they don't bother because they just want the attention. Most trolls just want attention. So if you don't give them that attention and their comments are not being seen by anybody, then they just say, oh, well, nobody's seeing this, so I might as well just stop. And if they keep on, then I would block them. But yeah, I don't have to block too many people. That's who I'm talking about, Suzanne. She is hilarious. Oh my gosh. Okay, so there we go. That little stem right there. So I just went over it in white. And then as soon as the Posca dries, you want to make sure it's dry, because if I take my yellow pencil right on top of it, it's going to just smear the Posca right off, right? All right, so let's get to crack-a-lackin'. Let's do the little kid here. Oh, let's do those ropes. I think I'll do those in maybe a kind of a tanny ochre color here. Or maybe I don't know. If I want to do it in red, it'll probably get confused with the bike. So yeah, let's go ahead and do it in a rope color. Same thing for the little tie here. It's tied to the bike. And then I'll do those little tires. So again, if y'all have any questions or anything, put it in caps, because otherwise chat just scrolls on by. All right, so then I'll take a little bit of a darker brown. I mean, this is very little, so there's not a lot of, shading you can do. Well, I mean, I guess you could. There. Colleen, I haven't seen you stream for a while. Of course, I never make your live shows because you're at like in the middle of the morning. Like Colleen streams like at midnight. She gets a she gets the late night jammy journalers. I can't go to those. And sometimes she forgets to record. Just saying. I'm going to tell Tom on you. Okay, so again, just kind of getting in some of the areas that I missed with the paint. And this is especially easy if you have black background. Take your black pencil and sharpen things up. If you do it with like this baby blue background, you need a pencil that's almost the same color, right? If you want to do the tweaking like this, because this is the same color pencil as the paint, you don't see where I'm getting in there with pencil. Same thing with black. If you have a black background and you get in here and tweak close to everything with your black pencil, you don't see it. So, all right, I think I'm going to do his bicycle tires a gray. I was thinking maybe they should be a color, but I'm just going to go ahead. I'm just going to get a couple shades of gray here. This maybe in one dark gray. Let's see. So, yeah, we'll do the tires. So I'm just going to go ahead and put a nice light coat of gray. Robert wants to know why you're not laughing. Laughing? Do I need to laugh more? Robert, do I need to laugh more? Sorry, I'm trying to get this done. I'm concentrating, Robert. That's why. And I don't like to rush, but I do have other projects I want to do. I want to show that other color book. Even if we don't color in the other color book, I am going to do a flip of it, okay? So we will do, I'll stay here on this episode till 11, which is about 45 more minutes. So whatever I don't finish here on this page, guys, in 45 minutes, I'll just post a finished picture of it, right? I'm going to try to get some of this done so you can see how I'm going to do these little like quilty sections. But, I mean, for the most part, you're seeing the techniques. And then I always post the finished pictures on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. I have a Facebook album. Now, I don't have a Facebook, like, group or nothing like that. I don't have time. Bless your heart, Jerry, and those that do. Because I don't know how people that have those groups do it. Jen Reading with Pugs has a coloring book group. Hers is awesome. If y'all want a good color book, now you have to be approved, which it's not, she's not going to grill you, but, but I think most groups are like that. They want to know who you are when you join a group. But, so they have some good groups. I just don't have time. So you see I'm just kind of doing some shading, and I'm going to get some black in there too, right on that edge. But you can go to my Facebook, just my regular Dee Dee Willingham Facebook page, and all my artwork, my art album, my portraits, my YouTube portraits, my color book pages, my fan art color book, my fan art portraits. What else? I'm trying to think all the different kinds I have. Anyway, all the albums I have are public. So you just have to go find me and then look for my albums, and they're all public. I don't have to follow you. You don't have to follow me. And, so you can just go see all, what all the color book pages, and plus Twitter and Instagram. So they're all there. Yeah. Oh, Prisma question. How do you blend the dark lines in coloring books? You mean like the line art? Yeah. Um, you just have to go darker than the line art, or like sometimes you've seen me do on the Jasmine Beckett Griffith girls. And I understand, you have to have line art. You have to have black lines in a color book. But unless you have eyeliner on, you're not going to have black lines under eyes. Those close-up girls and stuff like that. So I white it out with Posca. I white out any black lines I don't want, and that's very rare. It might be around a nose or under an eye. It's usually in faces, in portraits, and things like that. Because I'm so used to doing portraits, and I don't have any harsh black lines like that, right? And you just don't in a portrait. But in a color book, those things have to be there, or you won't be able to see them. So I would say that, like in this tire here, I'm just going darker than the lines. And this is a black Prisma too. So I'm going darker than the lines and then blend it out with the pencil. And then in portraits, where there's a harsh line that wouldn't necessarily be there in a face, I white it out. Hope that helped. For a color book. So I'm just going to have a little bit of areas here that are dark. Little tires here. And they are actually a little crooked. I thought maybe I need to make them rounder. But I think they're supposed to be a little crooked and funky, like, fairy tale-ish, like. So I'll just leave them that way. I try, Prisma, I try. I try to, answer anything I possibly can. And other people may have other ways of doing things, so nothing wrong with that. I just tell you how I do it. Okay, now I'm going to take my light gray and kind of soften that. Although I think some little black lines, like some, and that's the other thing too, when you're doing a color book and there's something that you think, oh, that those flowers need more stamens, or the tires need more nubbly stuff. You're the boss of your color book. I say that all the time. You don't have to, just because the artist put a certain thing there doesn't mean you can't change it. Put clouds going right over everything, or put outer space in your background, or waterfalls, or, add whatever you want to your color book pages. I don't think I've ever heard of, nor have I ever had a color book artist email me and say, I didn't mean for that to be there. You colored that wrong. Right? Okay, now I'm going to sharpen just a little around the... Never had that happen. All right, now I think I will take a black and just kind of make some little, almost like little tire, treads. I'm just going to put in some little lines like it has some little tire treads. See, can you kind of see that? And then around here, around this little gear, I think I'm going to sharpen that up there. And then the chain kind of got lost there. So I'm going to draw the chain back in. Okay. And I think inside okay, there's the little petal. Let's do partial black there. So you see the petal. Little tiny areas here. And then if you really want some, like let's say on the foot pedal here, and maybe even on the chain, let's just put little dots on the chain. So you can see like the little chain balls or whatever they are, you know, the little chain bits. And I think I'm going to do a little bit more on the tires too, just because I want it to stand out. That. And again, if the white is too bright, go back over it with another color when it dries. And I think I want a little bit of light coming out of the little lamp, even though it's day. Why not? If you're a kid and you have a lamp on your bike and it's day, you're still going to turn it on. See the little chain? So those little dots on the chain. Okay, and I think he's going to have blue. No, if I do blue jeans, I'd have to be dark blue because of the sky. So I'll go ahead and put a coat of light blue on, but I'm going to make them dark. Let's just get them blocked in here. And I think I want him to have a red and white striped shirt. So let's go ahead, kind of like Where's Waldo kind of thing. Let's get this little guy done here. And then I think he's going to have some lime green goggles. You know, steampunk. And I'll shade that a little bit here. It's a little darker green. And maybe put a little highlight across it, like light. Let's see what else. Okay, dark blue. Get a couple of blues here. This one. And I'm going to just grab, again, I'm grabbing by the color, not by the name. This one is Indian blue and cobalt blue to do the little jeans. I need some coffee. So I'm just going to shade, because I want the jeans dark so that they stand out from the, whoops, my paper underneath. I want them to stand out from the clouds, right? And just kind of do some little scruffy bits. That. And go with the lighter blue. Leave a couple patches of light, because you know they can be, the jeans could be weathered. In my flying world. And the white and kind of blend it out a little there. Soften the colors together. Go back to the dark. And there's some little buttons or some little not brads, rivets on the jean pockets there. Hey, Karen K, question, Dee Dee, when you want to shade, do you start, yeah, see that, everybody asks me that, do you start with light or dark? I think it kind of depends. I'm trying to get used to the polychromos. So like you saw with the leaves, I put a light coat down first. Then I went in and found my darkest darks. Then I blend out with, and this is, I'm talking on little bitty areas here, guys, that don't take more than 3 colors, right? Little bit, look, not bigger than my fingernail. So you can do a light, medium, and dark orange, right? So I just do a light first coat with the all over, like I just did with the jeans. Then I'll take the darkest color and do the darkest area. And then I took the medium color and kind of blended it all together. And then I took white or another light color and kind of just, and again, that's going to depend on if your polys are going to do that or not. Sometimes I found that the polys need to layer, not blend, like Prisma. So it's going to depend on the pencil. Okay. All right, I need this sharp line right here on these tires. So I'm going to take my Sharpie pen, not a Sharpie marker, a Sharpie pen. Let's make sure this one's working. And I want to do a little, here's what I'm going to do on it. I'm going to go, you won't be able to see it because it's a little, I'm going to do this all the way around the wheel to make it, not that big, but I mean, like, I'm going to go all the way around the wheel like that to make it nubby. Okay. So I'm going to just go all the way around the tires like that and make them nubby. Just a little wave thing. I want to have nubby tires. And I'm going over acrylic paint and stuff, so I'm kind of going back and forth with the pen. But I have found that Sharpie pens won't go through. There, you know, now you can make anything go through if you put enough layers to it, but I'm just going to do these little wheels, kind of nubby. I want the tread to be nubby. But again, it's a Sharpie pen, not a Sharpie marker. There's a difference. Don't ask me the different kind of ink, but it is. Do you need 3 colors? Well, it depends on the color, Prisma. You can, with my Prisma color, I could take a red and a yellow and make 10 shades of orange, because I know how Prismas work. And I could, you know, blend with two colors with a red, say to make an orange. I could take a yellow and a red Prisma and get all kinds of versions of orange in there. Polys, I'm not used to them. I don't know that I could do that. So I pick up 3 or 4 colors, you know. Oh, that's okay. I don't mind the questions. Zandra, I found those Sharpie pen in all kinds. Yes, they're all kinds of colors. Oh, and a hard case at Staples. Ah, Zandra, nice. I haven't seen the hard case. I have a lot of them in different colors. I use them for writing. The Sharpie, especially the black, but I use other colors too. Sharpie, this is my writing pen of choice. And you can't even see the nib, you know. And when I sign something, like I'll sign, like I'll sign my name here. I'll show you how. This is how small I write when I'm note taking in journals and stuff. That's how small I write. I write very tiny. Here I write big so you can see it. Like when I do the Society Idea Collector notebooks and all that, I write huge with fat Sharpies. You know, big Bic Market or Sharpie. I write with these, so y'all see it on camera. But that's not what I write with. Okay, I'm just doing a little more final detail around the tires here. This was fun. You're welcome, Jerry. Come back again. Before you leave, if you hear me, because I know there's a lag, put your website in there for everybody. Jerry Bellini has she does recycle. I think it's recycled for art. If she puts it in there, I'll read it. She does all kinds of cool stuff. I think she and Mary Altier are good friends. I think Mary Altier is on one of her like design teams or something. I forget. Bye, Connie. Anybody else? Hey, Galena. Did I miss saying hi to you? I have no idea who you're talking about, Galena Purpleina. Okay, so I'm gonna let that dry, and then I probably will go in here with my white. But I gotta let all that dry, or I'll just be smearing it, right? Or I could hit it with the heat gun, but whatever. Okay, so let's go back to him. I'm gonna go ahead and let's see. You know, I do different color kids. Let's do a little dark-skinned boy. So let's go ahead and put a layer. I like doing all colors of skin. Oh, and if y'all like to practice drawing faces and you want some places for ideas, I haven't done one for a while, I gotta say. I haven't done one probably for a year. But the Sketchy app gives you pictures of people to draw. And what's nice about it is there's all different, nationalities and all different poses and all different faces. And it's Sketchy without the E. SKTCHY. Sketchy app, and it's free. It kind of resembles Instagram, where you have people posting pictures. It kind of scrolls and rolls like Instagram, and has that kind of vibe to it, that feel to it. Now let's see. I want some more detail in his gold goggles. Maybe I'll just do a little shading around them. Let me sharpen. And so they have, I've shown y'all some, and let me pull it out and I'll show you again after this. Some of the people that I've drawn from Sketchy and all different nationalities. So if you want to practice drawing different, and you don't know where to go to get, of course you can go to Google Images and Pinterest, but this is a place that everybody wants you to draw them. They put their photos up there so they will draw. Ah, okay, Galena, gotcha. So that you will draw them. They want you to draw them and post the pictures that you draw, right? And he's just got his mouth open, so I'm just going to color that in. It's not like his, just his mouth is open. So you have permission to draw them, right? Because they want you to draw them. So it's good practice for all different nationalities. Okay, so there. Now let me get a kind of like a lighter tan color. Again, I'm not used to these colors in my poly set. So let's just do a little blend now. And I'm just going to kind of go over all the skin. And then I'll go back in there and do a little shading. Maybe highlight his fingers. Okay, I think that's part of the bike in there, under his arm there. That should be red. That's part of the bike right there. And then highlight his little fingers and stuff, because it's right there on the red bike. So, all right. Now go back with the darker brown and do a little shading. Little nose right there, little cheeks. Very tiny. Look how little. His face is as little as my fingernail. We're just so zoomed in. There's not a lot to color. A little sleeve, there'll be a little shadow under that sleeve. And then I'm going to take my white Posca again, and I'm just going to highlight everything, and then when it dries, I can go back over it with the tan color. But it'll still be light. So like with the highlight where the light's hitting him. His nose right there, maybe a little on his cheek. So then I'll let that sit for just a minute. And then I'll go back over it with the tan. And it'll just be like a highlight. Okay, his little shoe. Let's see. Oh, I got to finish his shirt too. All right, let me get in here with the red violet and do some shading. And then his little beanie there, I'm not sure what I want to do that yet. Let's see. And then go back in here with a little bit of white and blend that out. Or smooth it out. So the white seems to be okay over the top of the polys. All right, now the shadow in the white is going to be blue. So I'm just going to put a little bit of blue in there just so that the white stripes have a little bit of shading too. Just a touch. Okay, let's see if that's dry. I think it's dry. All right, let me get back to my tan lighter color. That's too light, a little bit darker. That's too, I got all my browns half over here and half in the, I just want to go right over the top of the highlight with just a little bit of a, because it'll still be highlighted, especially his fingers, because his fingers are like wrapped around the little bike handle there. And it's very tiny. I'm not looking at chat for a second, guys. Let me finish this little kid up here. There we go. All right, back to the dark brown. Need a little bit more shadow right here on the side of the face. All right. Okay, now his little hat. Can y'all see okay? I don't know, because we're pretty far, it's pretty far away. Okay. Oh, his shoe. Maybe he just has sneakers, although they're like elf shoes. They're like pointy. He has little pointy elf shoes. Let's just smear a little of that gray in there. The gray from the petal. I want to keep them light, I think. Just a little bit there. And then maybe a little on the tip, because you see he's got little elf shoes. Little elf boots or whatever. Yeah. Okay. Oops, that's blue on black. All right, let me take a sip of cold coffee. What time is it? It's 11. Okay, we got a little bit longer till 11. I was going to work on this till 11. Okay. Maybe he has a yellow and orange bean because of fall. I don't know. I'm trying to think of what colors would kind of go. Let me think a minute. Needs a little more highlight on that wrist. Kind of got lost in the bicycle. There we go. Okay. All right, let's see. Oh, we got Jasmine Beckett book to color. Oh, another thing. Taking my light gray again and going over some of those white tread things. Because I don't want them white, but I want them bright. So now I'm going to go back over this with light gray. And just kind of smooth out those treads. I don't know. We still have to do the top of the balloon, hot air balloon. Okay, I'm going to take my black pen and get around the little gear there. Let's do his little shoe. Little tiny details. You like the bike? Let's fix it a little. Let's put a little red in his cheeks, like he's working hard to pedal here. Get a little flushed. There we go. All right, let's see. And I still got the little, there's a little bug on top of the, I'll leave the mushroom in the hat for now, because we're going to run out of time. And I want to get up here to the, show you how I'm going to do this. But I have to figure out the colors. I think I want them orange and stuff too. I'm going to go ahead and take a, let's see, which kind of yellowy color do I want? Do I want a really light color kind of, let's maybe go with, let's go with the light orange. So what I'm going to do is color all, I'm just going to, here we go, we're going to color the whole thing a light orange. Now there's little darker little bits in there. I think those would be good with stickles, like almost like those are like clear, the little diamonds in between would be cool to have stickles in there. But in the meantime, I'm just going to put a light coat. And see, this is like one coat here, this poly is just like one nice smooth coat here. Although I do have a little pencil mark there from something or paint. So what I'm going to do is it's going to be quilted like looking. I don't really know what this is made out of, but we're going to make it quilted. And I know that's very hard to see. Do you have inklings? So to get, you mean a Jasmine's real book? Or are you talking about one of her color books? I know she has a new color book out, a mermaid one. I don't have that one. So I'm not sure what book you're talking about. If she has like just a book on her paintings. As far as I know, she only has that third book on mermaids, color book. I have the first two. And I don't know what color I want to do this yet. Do I want to do that silver? Like metal? Kind of think that might be metal, but I got gold bits. Not sure. So I'm just putting a nice light layer of an orange, and it's really more orange than that. It's a little bit more. Oh, Tanya Bond Inklings. Okay, because Inklings is the name of Jasmine's, I think that's the name of her Instagram, isn't it? I got something like that. I'm not sure if it's her or not. Inklings. I don't know. I don't want to take the time to look right now. It sounds familiar, but I'm not sure if I have it or not, Zandra. All right, so now I'm going to take the darker orange. Let's take the, which is scarlet red. To me is dark orange. And I'm going to do that. I'm going to start with that. So I'm going to go around all the little quilted areas, just start shading. And this is going to take a minute. And I want it to look like puffy. So I'm going to kind of go around each like little section. So that, because I want to make them look like each one of these is puffy, right? Like puffy, you know, puffy. So let's color in all the orange bits. Again, I don't know what color I want to do the wing. Yeah, blimp is made with quilted northern. I don't know what it is. I just don't know what it's made of. I'm imagining it's some kind of quilted something, right? All right, so I'm just getting some on here, and then I'll detail it out better here. Let's get some color on there. It's a fall picture, right? Fall leaves flying around. The ladybugs are coming out there, you know. Maybe I'll put a little stickles on it or something shiny. I don't like to get it too bumpy in a book because I don't tear these pages out, and you don't want texture on the next page you color. Although on the back side it's not. It's just like a little decoration so that you can write whatever information you want about the page you colored, I think. I don't do it, but I think that's what it's there for. So I'm just getting a base here blocked in. Strangelings. Ah, okay, thanks. Strangelings. Okay. Okay. Janet, you have to leave the house, so you have to go get dressed up. You got to put on makeup and clothes. I think I saw that. Did you have because you went out, Janet, or because you have to go out? You got makeup on. I try to. I don't always. Sometimes I'll just put my sunglasses on. If I just run to the grocery store or something. Yeah. Okay, so there's the start here. Kathy. Oh man, Kat, do I need makeup? uh, yeah, as soon as I finish, I'm going to work till 11, which is about 10 more minutes. I'm going to work about 10 more minutes on this, and I'm going to do another segment where I show the new color book I got from Anastasia. Okay, I want that to be its own video. Now, I might start coloring it, but obviously we won't get far. But I will at least do a flip of it, and then we'll, because we'll work in it. She's the one that did she did the mermaid book as well. That's the one that Jen sent me. Jen Reading with Pugs sent me the mermaid book from Anastasia. And then Anastasia asked if she could send me her new book, the dragon one. And of course I said yes. Of course. Hi, CB, if I missed you. All right, so there's some of the dark orange. Now I'm going to go back. I'm going to go in with like a little bit darker, and I'm going to just kind of start going around each one, and I'll go back and forth a couple times. And I might even get one darker, like a darker, maybe a sienna, like a brown, to really shade in between the orange. I don't really want to go red. I want it to be like all shades of orange. So you see how that's starting to kind of, and then I'll take the lightest one again. Is this the one I was using? I think so. I want to keep it really light though on the tip, on the front, on the puff. So like, let's see, let's do a little. Should probably do that with yellow. Let me get a nice bright yellow. Yeah, there we go. That's good. And then back to the medium orange. Let's do this little tail end here. And see, I leave all these colors out while I'm doing it so I remember to use the same colors, right? So let's go around that. Then back to the dark again. And I'm not putting pressure. I'm layering it here, not putting pressure. Okay, now I'm going to get a sienna color. Let's see. Is this a good one? Here we go. I think this is what I'm looking for. That's not going to be dark enough. I think I'll go with this one. Indian red. The sienna color. Hey, Squaw Moon Tracy. All right, so now I'm going to just get in here in the very darkest. So you see, it's like I don't have a plan. We'll do all the dark, then the light, then it just kind of you have to just work with what until you get the layers where you want them. So you kind of have to kind of go back and forth, back and forth. Okay. Nice and sharp edges there. All right, back to the brighter orange. Something like that. And I want to do each one like this. And then in between, and those little, I don't know if it's little, just where it's attached, but I think that needs some stickles or something shiny. See, this does too, I think. So there you can kind of see what we've gone from that to that. See? Nice, bright, happy orange colors. And now that I look at this, this almost needs a little bit more. These leaves down here need a little bit more color. It's pretty? Thanks, Kenny. All right, let's go to the front here. All right, I'm going to take the darker. So these are the colors I'm using. Scarlet, red. Then the next orange here is dark cad orange. Then cad orange. And then the yellow I have here is, and this is one of my older, from the older set, so it's shorter. I haven't used that yellow down to that. Cad yellow, and then this is Indian red. So those are the oranges I'm using on this. All right, so now back to the dark orange. No, let's go with the mid orange here and just kind of, because I want this to look like they're round. See, like each little quilted area is its own little thing here, like this. And I'm putting no pressure, guys. No pressure at all. Okay, now let's go to the nice light orange here. Get that on there, and then right in the center I'll put the yellow. And then I'll go back on the edges. So I got a mark right there. I don't know if I can erase that with the Posca. It's a piece of, it's some paint, some blue paint. Let's just let that sit for a second. Down here it's going to be darker anyway. So yeah, if y'all stuck around this long, you can see, and I'm going to record it. I'm going to do a separate video of Anastasia's new book. So. Bye, Meep. This one will just kind of be all darker down here at the bottom and under here. All right, let's put a little yellow in because I don't want to lose having that bright in there. Just a little extra bright right there and there. Okay, now back with the Indian red. And I am going a little faster than I normally would if I was just by myself, because I am trying to get as much done in the next 5 minutes. But, you know, when you're coloring, don't feel like you ever have to rush, because you don't. And when I'm coloring by myself, I don't rush either. So see how I want them to look like little puffs, each one? No questions or anything in chat, so I'm just going to keep rolling here. Hope y'all enjoyed coloring in Klara Markova, Tenderful Enchantments. I think this book just makes you happy. You know, it's like little kid fairy tales to me, you know. It's like a children's book. Kind of storyline like to it. Just makes you happy to color in it. Throw some butter and salt on that baby. Does it look like what? I guess it kind of looks like a waffle, doesn't it? There's going to be some dark areas back in there with the gears, you know. All right, so let's go back to the light orange. And I'm just going to add another. I'll probably go once more with the medium orange. Oh, corn on the cob. Oh, yeah, it does kind of look like corn on the cob. Maybe that's what it is. I don't know. I don't know what he used to do this little um, blimp balloon with. Okay, now I'm going to go with the orange one more time here. It does kind of look like corn on the cob. Good call, y'all. Okay, so just kind of concentrating, trying to finish this up. So yeah, what do y'all think? Corn on the cob. I'm pretty sure he was eating corn on the cob. Okay, so let's back out a little, guys, so you can see the whole thing here. Well, let's see. Let's go back in a little bit. There we go. And let's go back to the lighting, because now it's got a little dark. Something like that. So you can see, guys, you know, look how little, see, look, it's tiny bits. It's tiny. So all we have really left to do is the wing, which I'm not sure. I think I want some stickles on maybe the belt buckle and the little propeller, because it's kind of got lost back here. The little propeller, let me do a little darker blue behind it. The little propeller back there. And there's a little bit of maybe metal here, and then whatever's in between there, in between these little these little diamond shapes, like it's where they're connected. And yeah, so I really like it though. So other than that wing, his cap, and the mushroom, I think we pretty much finished it up. So yeah, let's tilt it a little. There we go. And I'll finish it up and post it. But yeah, so we'll call this part 2, and I'm not gonna make a part 3. I'll just finish it up. Purple wings. Yeah, see, I don't really want. I'm trying to keep it all red, yellow, orange, kind of, and blue, kind of fall colors. So I don't know if I want to throw in purple. Like I'm thinking I want even his cap orange. This will probably be red and orange. I'm trying to keep it all the right colors. Maybe red. Maybe just a red wing. Like with the bike. Okay, let's just do that real quick. Let's see. Let me get my dark red here. What color was I was using? Not burnt sienna. Where's my red? Was it the red violet? My red violet and my red. We're gonna do this wing real quick. All right. So I'm just gonna go ahead and put a light layer of red over the whole thing, because it'll have red wings like the little ladybugs. So maybe the inspiration for him to do this was ladybugs and corn on the cob. Those two things inspired him to make this little dirigible. All right, so I'm just going to put a nice flat layer of red over the whole thing to start, just to get it blocked in. Okay, let's go ahead and zoom in one more here. Super cute. All right, now I'm going to take the red violet, and I'm going to do, there's little, it may be hard to see, but you can see the depth of the individual, the sides, you know. So I'm going to do all that nice and dark, and I am putting pressure on this because it's going to just be one color, one coat right in there. A little shade there. All right, so now, and it looks like there's some kind of edges here, so let me just put that in. Okay, sharpening, nice point here. Okay, now I'm going to go around and start putting the shadow here, lightly, following her little pointillism. I'm kind of coloring it like the bike. I'm just going over all the color book lines. All right, now I'm going to go in here with the red. Again, just kind of start feathering it in. Needs a little darker red. Yeah, here we go, needs this red. Go back and forth with this. Okay. Sorry, just kind of not looking at Chad. I'm trying to get this done. And then I think I'll put a white highlight on it. And then that'll make it nice and pop. Like this. Okay. Now I'm going to take my white and just kind of blend out a couple little highlights. It's probably hard to see. It's tiny, guys. All right, now I'm going to take my Posca and go around the edges. And then what I'll do is go over that with red. when it dries. And I think I'm going to do these little spokes on that little, this little gear here. It's kind of getting lost in the orange. Something like that. Okay, so I'll let that sit for a minute. Or I could hit it with the heat gun. That's what I need to do. Let me do that. Oh, wait, one spot here I missed. Make sure I didn't miss any areas. Okay. It's Orville Redenbacher when he was selling his first. Okay, selling his first popcorn, huh? They need bags of popcorn here, not a mushroom. All right, so now I'm going to take my red, my lightest red here, and that should be dry, and go right over the top of the white. So it'll still be light, but it won't be bright white. And then we're going to save this video and move on. And I could go back in here. I need a little bit more shadow in a couple places I can see. But I'll work on it. I'll try to finish it sometime today and post it. Today's Wednesday. Yeah, I should be able to finish it today. And post it, if anything, tonight. So, yeah. So you can see it's still highlighted, but it's not bright white. You could leave it white, though. I mean, if you wanted it really bright. But I just kind of wanted a little bit. And I might add a couple little highlights just to... And I might put stickles. I still might stickle this. Red stickle. Let's do it. Let's just go for it. Now I gotta find my red stickles, but let's see if I can find my stickles. Here. Red. Let's go ahead and do this. Even though I'm not done and you want to put... you should do stickles at the very end. Let's see if there's anything left in this one. You should do... This one might be empty. Oh, wait. Here's another one. Let's go here. I need to restock my stickles. Here. Let's see if there's something in this one. And I'm just shaking it down, and hopefully I don't need a needle tool in there. Come on. Is there anything left in this one either? Well, I may not be doing red stickles then. That one looks empty. Do I have another one in there? That's purpley color. Let's see. There's a red. I need to go through them all and pick out the ones that are not. Ah, there we go. Okay, so I'm going to red stickle. And I'm going to kind of smooth it out with my finger. I don't want it thick. I don't want it bumpy. So I'm going to kind of really try my best to flatten it. Because I don't want a bumpy color book, right? Okay, I can tell on top of the polys, it wants to move the poly, I think. Or it's just not sticking. Okay, because the polys are oil-based, the stickles do not want to stick as easy to the oil of the polys as it seems to want to with the Prisma. That's interesting. I'm going to do it anyway, but yeah. And I am smoothing it out as much as I can so it's not bumpy. Okay. So the wing there. I think I want to do the bicycle too. Look. think I'm going to do the bicycle. Maybe just a little on the edges. I don't know. I'm not going to like try to fill it in solid, but just have a little bit of glitter, a little twinkle. I know Jen's going to like this. And then right along the basket, it's like this basket is part of the bike in my world. Okay, so let me hold this up. Then we have to set it aside to dry. So see, now I can't work on it because I have to let it dry. But I'll get it later today. I got other projects I'm working on. Okay, I'm going to put a little bit on the flowers. Just a touch. Sorry, guys. I can't help it. Can't help it. Just a little on the base of the flowers. The red ones. Just the red ones. I know. Stop me, right? Stop me. Okay. There we go. I just turned into a science experiment. Oh my gosh. Okay, so here we go. Let's see. Let me get my papers that are falling out. Okay, let's see if I can get it to... Anyway, let's go this way. So let's try to see the bike. There we go. See the bike? And the flowers a little bit. And then back up here on the wing. That looks pretty cool. And we got almost everything done. I mean, all we got to do is the mushroom is cap and a little bit of gearage there, you know. Thanks, guys. All right, so let me go ahead and back this out a little. Let's back this out. You can see the whole thing, right? And I'm going to stop this video and take a quick break and get some coffee. And I probably won't have time to do any coloring in the other book. Oh, wait, one other thing I was going to show you. Wait, because we were talking. All right, it's going to take 5 more minutes here. My sketchy. We were talking about sketchy. And I want y'all to know if y'all are going to try to draw or color any different types of, you know, skin tones, all different types of nationalities, that Sketchy, S-K-T-C, without the E, Sketchy app without the E. And these, and you can go there and see all the ones I put up there too. And again, I feel bad. I haven't been over there in probably a year. But here's some of the ones that I've done. And I'm just going to flip through them real quick, just so y'all can see some of the different skins and stuff that I, you know, have done. So I'm just going to flip real quick. I'm just going to pull these, going through these real quick. And these are all with color pencil. No, it's the iPad too, Azure. I think the iPad, it's an app. Yeah. Yeah, it's an app. Let's see, what else do I have? That's not sketchy. I'm trying to separate the sketchy from the non-sketchy here. Okay. That's Annie. This goes in another folder. And then those are some of the larger ones. These are 8.5 by 11. And this one was just a quick one. I did him like white. I was practicing with blue and white. So this one's, I don't really technically, I mean, it's there, but it's really not, you know, pencil colored, if you will. Okay, so here's some different ones with different, and these are smaller paper, but they're still full-size faces. Oh, there's Jonna and Darcy. Those go in another folder. Oh, and I don't know, there's a starfish in there from one of my Inktobers. So, yeah, these are from Sketchy. There's a mailing list you can sign up for Droid when it comes out. Oh, okay. I didn't know that, Azure. She's one of my favorites. I really like the way her skin turned out and her hair, too. And he only posted half a face, so there's only half a face. And some, you know, it's just kind of squiggly. You know, some I spend more time than others. But, you know. And she's not on Sketchy, but she's in, and neither is, some of these need to go in the other folder. I try to keep them separate, like the Sketchy ones, separate from. You should do some more. I know, it's time. It's the time, CB. There's a little tattoo artist, and he was like zoomed in, so I just kind of like painted in, you know, that out. So someone actually did post a dog, and I put my own little touch in her sunglasses there. And these two are not from Sketchy. They're friends. So anyway, yeah, there you go, a quick little peruse. I know I loved doing these, CB, when I was doing them, but this was also before I was doing color books so much anyway. So now we take a lot of time up doing with color books because and streaming, you know, sometimes 3 days a week. So it does take time. Okay, so I'm going to stop this video. And yeah, I use Prismas on all those. Prismas and acrylic paint. Picola. Like the clothing and stuff is acrylic paint. Okay, so let me go ahead and stop and grab some coffee. And then I want to do a peruse of the other color book. So hang on, guys, and I'll be right back.